We all know over the last few days, Starmer and his entourage have buggered off to China to go and cozy up to them, do deals, talk nice, and see what they can get out of them. In fact, as I said in a previous video, I've got no confidence whatsoever that we're going to get anything of any significance apart from a headache. At the end of the day, we have issues with them, with that super embassy. We have issues with them with potential surveillance on us, our communications, what we get up to. And that's just really scratching the surface. And of course, when you look at the bigger picture, they're a communist state. CCP, Chinese Communist Party, should tell you everything you want to know. And you get very many pieces of evidence and very many pieces of documentation online which tell you that that whole model of doing things in China is very attractive to other countries. So let's see what they're doing. Yes, they have some major technology. Yes, they have certain ways of doing things. But as I saw in a video the other day, their economy really isn't as great as it could be, despite outward appearances. And, you know, there's a lot more to it. So Starmer cozying up to a nation, a superpower, which really isn't doing probably the greatest things towards us, doesn't sit well, particularly when you look at America, particularly when you look at the countries within Europe that, you know, would be safer to do business with. Trump would not be happy about this, would not be happy at all. This is one of the things that's come up. And I want to show you this. So major defeat for Keir Starmer. This is being labelled as regulating US firms with Ofcom will be blocked by Trump administration and US Congress. This could lead to major tariffs on the UK if Keir Starmer tries to block access to websites. It's a bit of a humiliation, isn't it? The USA are defending freedom of British people. Thank you. There's another one down here. And you can see breaking US Congress set to block Ofcom from regulating American firms. The White House says this is an anathema to the First Amendment. And there's a lot of comments down there. Now, he's made a move on this. And, you know, the timing of this is very succinct because, you know, that or that situation played out a little while ago. And when you talk about banning people from saying things online in this country, when you ban people from using tools made available to them in this country online because they don't necessarily allow the control over things that you might want, then it ain't a good show, because what happens is you're affecting the trade of American companies. And Americans take their First Amendment very, very seriously indeed, freedom of expression. And if you start chopping down on these companies, this is what happens. So when you go to China, a communist state, basically, and start kowtowing to them, America's not going to be happy about it, and it's going to make some kind of move to go, pfft, and this is what has happened. Now, just a little bit here. Let's see if we can bring this to the screen. And this is a thing that Keir Starmer has said. It's only about 15 seconds long, but let's have a look at it.
So I told President Xi when we met at the G20 in Brazil in 2024 that we want to build a consistent, long-term, comprehensive and strategic relationship with China. So I told President Xi when we met at the G20 in Brazil in 2024 that we want to build a consistent, long-term, comprehensive and strategic relationship with China.
So there you go. He's gone over to China to cozy up to them and basically saying we want that strategic relationship with you. We want to be a part of what you get up to. We want to talk. We want to do business. And at the end of the day, I think he's going to come away with the proverbial bloody nose. He's not going to get anywhere near what he thinks he is going to get, and the Chinese are going to get a lot more. In way of inroads into this country. Now, for years, and let's get this straight, I don't have a problem with the Chinese at all. I think some of them, well, most of them are great people. I happen to know some locally, and they're excellent. But what I have a problem with is the way governments operate and the way they circumvent things to get their own way. And what they're doing in this country is letting in, by the back door, the front door, the kitchen window, or whatever analogy you want to use, someone else who wants to spy on us, see what we're up to, and take over as much as possible. There's no two ways about that whatsoever. And for years, the amount of cheap made in China crap that we've been importing has undermined English industry, Scottish industry, Welsh industry, and Irish industry. How can you possibly compete with products coming in produced by people who are being paid literal peanuts? And that cycle has gone on for ages. And of course, jobs as well, because a lot of employers over this way go to look for factories in places like China, where things can be produced en masse and quickly. People paid the proverbial peanuts, moved over here en masse. T-shirts, pens, pencil cases, plastic tat, technology goods, washing machines, code, you name it. It all comes in, further jeopardizing our industry here. You wonder if Trump will put tariffs on stuff? Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Have a look at this little bit here, which was on the news, just another little overview of what's going on. And we'll get a bit of the reaction. Yeah, a national humiliation, and they called him Kowtow Keir. And that's a very good summary of the current situation. One thing that makes me laugh with the interference in this country, I often refer to the English Act of Settlement. And in there's a line which has been repealed since, illegally, I might add, which protects us from interference from outside countries. And at the time, it was really put in place to protect us from Dutch interference. But in this case, it's Chinese interference, and the same rule applies. It's another reason that should be left in there, and all of these older rules should be looked at. But A 40-minute meeting. How much money did it cost to fly that dipstick over there with his entourage and his big flashy jet? How much? How much did we give away? And how much more risk are we at in return? There's a lot of hows and a lot of what happened. And, you know, they're going to sugarcoat it over as they always do. Definitely. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave your comments. And as always, I'll talk to you soon. Toodaloo.